Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Blockchain Central. Today we'll discuss the topic of enterprise blockchains. This means that we will have a closer look at the different options companies face when they want to get started with blockchain technology. When talking about enterprise applications of blockchain technology, we should look at three main categories: public blockchains, consortium blockchains, and full private blockchains. Let's take a closer look. Public blockchains. A public blockchain is a blockchain that anyone in the world can read, perform transactions, and participate in the consensus process. Public blockchains, as a substitute for centralized trust, are secured by a combination of economic incentives and cryptographic verifications such as proof of work or proof of stake. These mechanisms follow the general principle that the degree to which someone can influence the consensus process is proportional to the amount of resources that they can add. Examples include Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero, and these blockchains are usually completely decentralized. Consortium blockchains. A consortium blockchain is a blockchain where the consensus process is controlled by a pre-selected set of nodes. For example, in a consortium of 15 financial institutions with 15 total nodes. Now, in order for a block to be valid, it must be signed by at least 10 nodes. The right to read the blockchain may be public or restricted to certain participants. These blockchains may be considered partially decentralized. Examples include R3, which is run by a financial consortium including Barclays, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, and EWF, which is supported by an energy consortium including Shell, Energy, and E.ON. Fully private blockchains. A fully private blockchain is one where the writing permissions are fully centralized to one organization. Reading permissions may be public or restricted as decided by the developer. Private blockchains are a way of taking advantage of blockchain technology by setting up groups and participants who can verify transactions internally. This bears the same security risk as a centralized system, but can be useful in terms of scalability or compliance, for example, with data privacy regulations. Examples include Monax and multi-chain. Now, let's focus exclusively on the private versus public blockchain discussion. First, let's compare private blockchains and public blockchains and summarize their advantages. Number one, a consortium or a company running a private blockchain can easily change the rules of the blockchain. Ergo, revert transactions, modify balances, etc. Number two, transactions are cheaper since they only need to be verified by a few nodes that can be trusted to have very high processing power and do not need to be verified by thousands of nodes. Number three, nodes can be trusted to be very well connected, and faults can quickly be fixed by manual intervention. Number four, read permissions can be restricted, providing a great level of privacy. Given all of this, it may seem like private blockchains are unquestionably a better choice for institutions. However, even in an institutional context, public blockchains still have a lot of value due to the advantages that are associated with them. The most prominent of these are freedom, neutrality, and openness. For example, public blockchains provide a way to protect the users from the developers by placing limitations on the latter. This might be done to increase trust between the community and the developers, or to eliminate possible censorship requests, for example, extended by the government. Secondly, public blockchains are open and therefore are likely to be used by many entities. Let's take domain names as an example. Currently, if A wants to sell a domain to B, there's the standard counterparty risk problem that needs to be resolved. If A sells, B may not send the money, and if B sends the money first, then A may not send the domain. Today, to solve this problem, we have centralized escrow intermediaries that charge small fees for this service. However, if we have a domain name system on a blockchain together with its native currency, then we can cut costs to near zero with a smart contract. So, to summarize, enterprises can choose between three different types of blockchains: public, private, and consortium-based. Excluding each of the different possibilities by default would be a mistake, as each of them have various benefits. Some are more applicable than others, ergo, the owners of a private blockchain enjoy increased privacy and transaction speed, whereas public blockchains are more transparent and trustworthy to the network. Before you go, please note that this content does not represent financial, legal, or tax advice, nor is it supposed to be understood or interpreted as solicitation to buy or sell any securities, coins, or tokens. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to Blockchain Central to never miss a beat. Happy investing.